What up, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss 360, and I'm back at it with another video. Hope you enjoy. Subscribe. Text me.
Listen. Text me, email me if you need a video done, YouTube, what's up? It's your boy 360 Jeezy, and in this video I did a basic fade. I don't like saying basic, but that's what it kind of is. But it's a dope fade. I mean, it's a mid fade. He got curls on top. For any barber out there that wants to get better, this video right here is for you. If you're a barber that cuts out the house, this video is for you. If you're just trying to learn how to cut hair because you don't know how, alright, you want to watch this video. I don't have any loud music playing in the background. It's just me talking over this video. So make sure you subscribe if you haven't already subscribed to my channel. And yeah. Babe, do you have anything else to say? Any more emails you want to give the people? Any more text messages you want them to see?
Twitter, Insta, Facebook me.
It's your boy 360 Jeezy. Stay
tuned.
360 Alright, you guys, for anybody that's trying to learn how to really cut hair and you're not a barber and you're trying to learn, I got you, alright? I'm going to give you the steps, the ins and out on how to do a basic fade. So right now, I'm using my Andy Slimline Pro LIs. I'm using my liner clippers, okay? You can use any liner clippers. It doesn't necessarily have to be the ones that I'm using in the video. But right now, I'm setting the line in a contour way, in a way that is shaped to my client's head, because everybody got a hook in the back, so you want to go to the hook and around the hook and back up to the lineup. Right now I'm balding out the rest of the hair. I'm using my Wall Magic clips. These are modified. You don't necessarily have to get these clippers. And I'm going to be saying that throughout this whole video so you guys can understand that it doesn't have to be the exact clipper that I'm using. I modified these to where these are balding clippers. Wall actually has a clipper that is strictly a balding clipper. The only reason why I end up taking that blade off and putting it on these cordless clippers, because I love the fact that you could be cord free, and I love the fact you could go around the head easy. You don't have to be confined to a cord, and it just makes it quick and easy to cut around the head. Alright, when taking out the bulk, you do not want to go fast using these clippers, or the client will be uncomfortable and the hair might snag. You want to always take it inch by inch and go slow with cutting the hair. Never just rush into it and try to be Mr. Speedy guy and try to get all the hair off at once. Take your time. Right now I'm using my Oster's Fast Feeds, and I got my lever open. Now what I mean by the lever open is the blade is open up all the way to the bottom. And I know that kind of is confusing, but the blade is actually all the way to the bottom, and it's at the stage where the blade is not close to the other blade, and you're not going to cut off too much at once. You know what I mean? It's not going to be bald if you cut it. So if I can explain this right, the blade is actually exposed. The blade is furthest away from that top blade, and I'm just putting in this guideline about 1 inch so that I could get a long transition. You don't want to set short guidelines because the short blends don't look as good as a long transition. Right now, I put on my one guard open, and what I mean by open is that again, it's the teeth is further away from the other teeth, and it allows you to cut less hair, if that makes sense. So I got my 1 guard on, but it's really a 1.5. So right now I'm going up another inch and making sure that all the hair that I see is the same length within this inch that I'm putting in these guidelines. So I'm not gonna go up too far, you know, into the hair, because I'm gonna shape the top, but I'm just being real careful on how far I go up and how far I dig in, and just making sure everything is one length. All right, right now I closed the lever, okay? I still got my 1 guard on, but I just closed the lever. That way the teeth are meeting the teeth at the bottom. So that's what I mean by closing the lever. Right now I'm flicking out that middle line, and what I mean by flick out motion is the motion that I'm doing. I'm kind of like going to the scalp and flicking out real fast. It's not like I'm setting in the guideline where I'm digging in. It's just a flick out motion where you go to the scalp and you flick out real quick. This is not gonna take out that middle line. It's basically just gonna soften up everything. So when you come behind with your next guideline, it'll be easier to take out. Now with the 0 guard closed in that same position with the lever that you had last on that 1 guard closed, you want to flick out that middle line, okay? This is a procedure that is most important because this is going to cause the blend to be in there, okay? What you got to get an idea of is not to bring the fade up, but to break the line. That's all you're doing. You're not necessarily bringing the fade up. You're just breaking the line. So in a flick out motion, this is probably the longest process you'll have when it comes to doing the fade, because the flick out motion is like, it's real tedious. You gotta pay attention to what you're looking at and make sure that line is just like blended. Now with the lever closed, it's time to knock out that bottom line. Again, make sure that you have it in your mind that it's not necessarily bringing the fade up, but it's just breaking that line. It's basically every other hair getting erased, if you will. You want to stretch the skin sometime, because you know some areas won't come out as easy as others. So stretching the skin is a good technique to really get in there and get what you need to get. Keep in mind that you need to open and close the clipper if you have to get in certain areas that's higher than that bottom line. So when you're lifting your guard, when you're closing your guard or opening your guard, that is basically letting you know how much hair is going to be taken off. The closer you get to the blade, the more you're going to cut. So when you open it, the less you're going to cut. So make sure that you get into the rhythm. This is all basically learning, repetition, and just doing it so much that you get familiar with what you're doing. You don't want to get confined in like just strictly doing the exact steps and just doing what you see, because kind of like behind the scenes where my hand is, I'm kind of opening and closing the lever, so it's I'm kind of freestyling with it too. So you guys got to find your rhythm. You got to find what works for you, and these are basic guidelines to do a great fade. Again, you want to make sure you stretch the skin so that you could get the hairs that, you know, seem to be hard to get. You also keep in mind to use your corners. Don't use the full blade in every part of the haircut. Sometimes you're going to have to just use the corners to get in them tight spots where it's difficult to get. Using the full blade kind of can hinder you because you might take off some parts in different areas that you didn't want to. So keep in mind that you could use the corner of your blade to fade too. Before you do the top of anyone's hair, if it's long, you always want to comb it or pick it out first so it can be stretched to the maximum potential that the hair could be stretched to. You know, you don't want to sit here and have that bed head and, you know, start cutting on a bed head. You don't want to do that. You want to make sure everything is stretched out, picked out, and yeah. Right now I'm doing my freehand trim using my wall magic clips. Again, these are modified to be balders. I'm basically kind of doing like a high top, kind of a high top, but it's not necessarily a high top because I'm going to eventually wet the hair and put it in curls. This is just me shaping it so that it isn't no overlay and it doesn't look weird. I don't think I did. Right now I'm spraying the hair with water just to get ready for me to apply some product. The product that I'm gonna put in this hair is called Johnny B Mold. All right, this is a good product to curl hair. Changing my way. Right now I'm blow drying the hair so that it could stay in place, and you don't never want to leave your client walking out with a wet head. So I'm drying it so it can stay in place and everything could, you know, look dry. All right, when it comes to lining up your client, it's all visual, okay? Like, you guys want to make sure you keep the line natural as possible. Do not go too far back on the line. Just keep it right where the hair grew back. So Right now, I know you guys are noticing that my client, oh, he's ashy. This is not ashy, you guys. This is not my client being ashy. I ended up spraying some spritz on my client's lineup, and that holds the hair in place. So when you do hit it with the liners, the hair will not move. It will just completely just come off, and it'll look real crispy at the end of the process. But yeah, it's not that my client is ashy or anything. It's that I spray spritz on his head so that the hair will not move.
January should really be called Patriot, because nothing beats January for a clean coat of paint after the holidays, and adding some bright touches for the spring. The good news is, you don't have to go to a big box to get a can of paint. Now that there's Orchard Supply hardware in our neighborhood, you can easily get everything you need. Orchard has a full range of beautiful, high-quality Benjamin Moore paints, custom mixing, and our warm and friendly help. Go to osh.com/Florida for store locations. Orchard Supply Hardware. Home, hardware, and happiness.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Joe. You're listening to WHQT, Coral Gables, Miami.
Alright, YouTube, this is how my client came in. Alright, and this is how he left. Can I get a drum roll, please? Alright, YouTube, this is the cut. And if you like it, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, hit that subscribe button. To all my house barbers, to all my student barbers, anybody that wants to know how to cut hair professionally like a barber, here it is, man. I hope you learned something. I hope you got something out of this video. Thank you for watching. But it's your boy 360 GZ, and I'm out of here. Cheers.